music. Our next star was born into country royalty. Her parents are legends, and as a child she learned to play guitar from the mother of country music herself. But take a traditional path to country stardom? Nah. She struck out on her own and became a leading light in the new Nashville movement of the early 1980s, mixing elements of pop, folk, and country like never before.
Oh, this is the way we make a broken heart.
Emerging from the shadow of her legendary father, Johnny, Rosanne Cash struck a chord in country few had heard before.
For carrying that name, for saying, yeah, I'm Johnny Cash's daughter, yet blazing a trail all on her own. Amazing.
And the wheel goes round.
Rosanne would help lead the way as an alternative country movement swept Nashville in the early 1980s. Her intensely personal songwriting style brought a new intimacy and a new audience to country.
Her songs just ripped me apart. It's like when I first heard her writing, it was as if she was writing my life.
The air is freezing and we can't find the light, so we sail off into our dreams. And what we really dream is love.
I was a senior in high school when 7 Year 8 came out.
Tell them you're trying to kill a 7 Year 8. See what else your old heart can take.
I was listening to my parents' country music, but when I heard that, I said, wow, I could do that.
If I could only learn to make you love me, I'd make you love me.
I love the sound of her voice, and of course, hooking up with Rodney as a producer, they made just very, very moving, evocative records.
Something I really love about Rosanne Cash's artistry is that she, to me, is sort of the female John Lennon in a way. And Rosanne has that same kind of melancholy.
Our love has turned into a runaway train.
She's as important in her time in that late 70s to early 80s as her father was when he was really influencing country music.
A guitar player and such a writer and such an interpreter of other people's music, yet fiercely independent.
I think she's the greatest singer-songwriter in modern country music because the personal nature of her songs, her willingness to dig in very deep and put it all on the table. It's just an amazing artistic endeavor on her part.
Goes round. You don't have a backstage room of your own. You just have feedback in your microphone. 'Cause you didn't get a sound check, 'cause you're not worth the time.
The opening act song she did on the CMAs one year had everybody just rolling in the aisles. It was so funny.
It was a very brave thing to take a stab at the big stars.
It was a bold move, but if anyone could take a swipe at the country music establishment and get away with it, it was Mary Chapin Carpenter.
I was so darn nervous, I just wanted to barf. But this is my career, and I'm paying my dues. And if I ever get rich and famous, I guess I'll be a jackass too. Till then, you don't know me. I'm the opening act.
It was a time when country music was running rampant with overblown star power, and frankly, Mary Chapin thought it was funny.
I remember watching her perform and thinking, that's the kind of stuff I want to write. And I didn't know that you could do that as a female in country music.
Mary Chapin Carpenter viewed herself, and probably still views herself, as an outsider to Nashville and country music.
Outsider or not, this passionate singer-songwriter has earned the respect and admiration of millions by bringing her own unique brand of candor and humor to almost any topic.
Mary Chapin Carpenter brought in intelligence again to country music and raised the standard for songwriters across the board.
I think she's one of the artists with true integrity that has always maintained that integrity and has a lot of respect from other people.
Passionate kisses. Whoa, whoa.
She was very successful without kind of selling out and doing a lot of pap, you know.
Chapin came along and you just felt every word because you knew she'd written it, and intelligent lyrics, smart songs.
Everything is so nice. Safest place you'll ever find. God forbid you change your mind. He thinks he'll keep her.
And funny songs.
She had a kind of natural cool that couldn't be denied.
Think I flip a coin, I'm a winner either way. I feel lucky today.
Her elders in the country music community called her wild child, and for good reason. Her offstage antics threatened to overshadow her contributions to country music. But make no mistake, she had the talent, the drive, the discipline to become one of the most unforgettable women in country.
She's 41 and her daddy still calls her baby.
Back in 1972, people were asking, who is this teenager with the grown-up voice?
I've always sung more adult songs. She's 41 and her daddy still calls her baby. Well, she wore 42D and her daddy still called her baby.
In her younger days, they called her Delta Dawn.
This little girl standing there, standing flat-footed, looking you in the eye, and singing with this kind of power and this kind of conviction.
And a man of a low degree stood by her side.
It was just God-given instincts rolling out of her heart.
It was evident Tanya Tucker was no ordinary teenager.
Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have on?
I remember Ralph Emery's show with her when she was about 14, and Ralph said, Tanya, what do you want to be when you grow up? And she said, a superstar.
As she grew into adulthood, Tanya adopted a brand new image.
Tanya Tucker is the very, very first female country star to succeed with an openly sexual image.
When I die, I may not go to heaven.
Tanya Tucker will be remembered as being the Madonna of country music.
Well, it's a little too late to do the right thing.
Despite a bad girl image in a conservative industry, people seem to accept Tanya like they would a black sheep of the family.
She didn't care what she said or did, and she'd do it. But we all loved her.
She has, throughout her entire career and her entire life, pushed the envelope. That was just Tanya.
A bona fide survivor, she continues to entertain audiences with the same fervor and zest she displayed in 1972.
I think there's a big difference between just singers and entertainers, and Tanya is really one of the people that can really entertain. Every time she hit the stage was just like a ball of energy.
Let me tell you something. If you need a song sung and sung right, hand it to Tanya Tucker. And it doesn't get any better than her.
Some kind of trouble. She's a wild one with an angel's face. She's a woman child.
When Faith Hill hit the music scene in the early 1990s, there was no denying the roots of her music. But what eventually made her a superstar was her evolution from a small-town girl to diva.
She's come so far from when she started, you know, soft-spoken country girl.
I'm just overwhelmed with excitement. This is awesome.
I mean, her transformation has been amazing.
I can feel you breathe, washing over me, and suddenly I'm melting into you.
She did go from a girl next door to a very sophisticated, glamorous woman. That's just because she's constantly reinventing herself.
This kiss, this kiss.
I think she's the beauty that we all want to be. The style, the way you look, it doesn't hurt to be beautiful like Faith Hill.
Let me let go, baby.
Coupling her natural beauty and charm with striking visuals, Faith Hill used the power of music videos like few female country artists before her.
Faith Hill cannot make a bad video. All you have to do is put her in front of a camera, and everybody wants to see it.
Let's make love all night long.
She puts out good music. She represents country music with class.
Ooh, I love the way you love me.
Bubbly, sexy, beautiful, goofy, funny. And as Tim says, everybody falls in love with her when they meet her.
I only wish that you could see either way you love me.
She's a solid, viable cornerstone in this business.
It's like really hard to see somebody that beautiful, be that nice, and sing that good.
Soar above the sky.
That's a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow, but it's true. She's that nice, she's that beautiful, and she's that good.